Hey everybody, Star here. What is going on
Today we're going to be playing some Soldier on Upward. Really never gets old. And we've got a lot to talk about. We have about 4 years worth of stuff to talk about. So I'm not exactly sure where to start, but I think the best place might be an age-old question.
What happened to the oldster? What happened to late night live commentary? And most importantly, where has he been this whole time?
The answer to that question is not so simple because it really depends on who I'm answering the question for in terms of how I must answer it. See, maybe you watched my video a year ago, left a comment like this on it, and were really excited for more content, and now you're seeing this video in your subscription feed a year later and you have no idea who I am, right? On the other hand, maybe you, I don't know, left one of the other comments on that video, and you have a lot of unrequited pent-up anger and aggression, and you really need to resolve the ultimate question: what kind of shit vid is this? You used to be gaming, what happened to you? So within both of these completely different perspectives, we actually have the same question, which is, who are you and where have you been? The first thing that comes to mind I feel I should point out is that even before I stopped making videos, for the last 8 or 9 years, I've been on Twitch TV quite consistently, so I haven't been gone. I've been accessible the whole time, and a big part of the reason it's taken so long to make this video is because I assumed anyone who actually cared already knew. But yeah, I decided to spend more time on Twitch, which coincided with the release of Overwatch, and I wasn't necessarily completely gone from YouTube because I do have a second YouTube channel that I use to avoid the fanatic frenzy of tribalism here on this one, and I still uploaded quite a few videos there, haven't been too many in the last year or so, and I'm sure a lot of those fanatic people are actually gonna be quite happy to hear that I think the only regret in my whole life is how much time I devoted to Overwatch. I had a lot of hope and expectations that that game could be great, and everything that I expected that game to be, it will never be. And for a long time, I vocalized a lot of criticisms about it that people just got sick of hearing, that I genuinely thought might lead to some sort of change and that it could one day be the game that I hoped it would have been from the start. That was quite naive. Nothing's changed. Now that we're in the future and we can look back, yeah, that was a lot of wasted time on my part. However, with that said, the first 6 months of Overwatch, the beginning of its life cycle, and deciding to go stream in the first place was not wasted time. That was a great decision because I met a lot of people that I still talk to this day. I met a lot of friends through that community that I'm really grateful I had the opportunity to meet. When you're on YouTube, you feel like you exist in your own bubble. You're the tree in the forest that falls over and nobody hears you. I've seen this to be true as long as I've made videos. Even when I made TF2 videos, the community on Twitch would talk about the TF2 YouTubers like they're trash and just shit talk them all day. And the same was true for Overwatch. Yeah, there were Overwatch YouTubers and people who were on Twitch, like within this community, just didn't interact with them, would bring them up about how they don't like them, and it just always gets left at that. So the takeaway here should be that going to Twitch was a welcoming, friendly community that I felt involved in, and it was nice to take part in. To contrast, my YouTube channel didn't really feel like that. And we'll get back to that, but I think that this links up to the Titan video that I released a year ago, my last upload, and we can start explaining the contrast of welcoming community versus the mindset that I was in when I even decided to start making that video. And I don't mean to downplay the actual disorder and make this sound like a huge, serious problem, but I would say that I basically have PTSD when it comes to creating YouTube content. The first thing that comes to my mind is all of the negative consequences, all of the stress required in creating it, the deadline, making sure it's good enough, and all of this just balled up negativity. Well before, like, oh, I'm gonna make a great fun video and everyone's gonna love it. I have to dig deep to think that that is the reality that I'm working towards. Shit. Hold on, like, pause to cry real quick. I don't know, that fucking hit me weird to say that out loud. Which is weird because I've said it a lot. Which is weird because I've said it a lot of times. I don't know why that time it was different. I had such a fucking goofy tuber tone at the beginning of this video. I was even worried how, like, ridiculous I was sounding. So, yeah, every time that I wanted to make a video, I would walk away from it. Every time that thought would come up, like, oh, I should make this. No, that's stupid. You shouldn't do that. That it leads to all of these bad things. There's consequences. There's like nothing good on the other side of doing this, which sucks because I keep thinking about it because I like making videos. But yeah, it was easy to walk away. I had a place to go. I had the welcoming Twitch community where I enjoyed being and there was no pressure. So I could just walk away whenever I want. But every time you walk away from something that you don't want to do or that you're worried about or that you have these feelings for, you just reinforce that those feelings are real and that you have done your body, good. You've survived it because you avoided it. So I saw that that was happening and I said, you know what? I can't let this is ridiculous. I'm going to make this Titan video. I thought for a while that, I saw the movie and I was like, this would make a good video. And I just kept thinking about it. So like 3 months after I saw it, I finally decided, you know what? I have to sit down and make this video and just push myself through it because I'm going to feel so much better after I'm done with it. Unfortunately, I don't think that was the case. That video got a content ID claim that behind the scenes I tried to resolve for about 3 months before I posted it. So I finished it, sat around for 3 months. A lot of my initial hype of getting to show it to people had died. And that is something I never had to deal with before, so I just tacked that on, add that on. That's one more thing I'm gonna have to deal with from now on if I want to make videos. The process of making it as well, I felt like I had to polish the best video I'd ever made. People haven't seen me for a long time, so I'd better show up with gifts and I'd better be worth seeing because I felt like I was going to show up in front of an audience that already didn't like me and didn't care or wanted to see a different video than the one I was making in the first place. So I finished it and I waited 3 months and I got pretty derailed from wanting to return to YouTube, and I guess you could look at that as being a little bit too quick to give up. Eventually people would stop talking about TF2 if I just made really good content on the most frequent basis that I possibly could. If I just pushed through and kept doing it, eventually it would stick and a lot of people would start seeing it and it would catch on. However, I don't know, let's just pretend for a moment that I am one of the most popular YouTubers on this whole website, known for creating well-polished content. I sit down and I do that. I accomplish that. How would that go for me?
I'm over here struggling to put up 4 videos a month versus hundreds of other mega channels uploading 30 videos a month. Statistically, I cannot win. I don't even stand a chance.
I mean, why spend that much time when that's not even what people want to watch? Why go through that gauntlet of like effort and stress just to get to the end of it and have someone tell you, well, don't worry, Stir, we would have watched anything you made. We're just happy to see content from you. All right, so then like, why am I trying so hard? Because that's true. That's the problem, is that is true. And I know that that's the truth, and that is disappointing to know. If we look at it from how I've always made videos, my philosophy was always, I'm going to make the next video I make better than the last video I made. And eventually I got really good at making videos because I always tried to step it up and make the next one a little bit better, to the point that eventually Team Fortress 2 live commentaries became shallow and disappointing and unfulfilling. I just didn't want to do it anymore. There's nothing there. I could be so much more, but nobody wanted me to be more. There is a blatant hypocrisy and an immediate turn in the way the audience was reacting, that they were calling shit I was making lazy. And not because it was lazy, because it wasn't Team Fortress 2. The shit that I made that you liked was always lazy. And if we look at what I showed earlier, Screen Cheat, 1 million views, the laziest video I've ever uploaded, and it is hard to create content that I feel is good and that can beat that benchmark of, well, no, I guess they want lazy shit. I guess they want me to be the guy who pretends to enjoy Fall Guys, screams at the latest trend, but for me it was TF2. And all these comments showing up, this video can go on forever because you have to dispute every single one of these just bizarre perspectives. People that think that I left and started streaming as like a shill and chased the money. Dude, I would have been a millionaire if I just kept making garbage TF2 videos. It's easy, it required no thought, no effort, no soul, and I could just pump them out and you'd watch them, no matter what they were. It didn't matter. I don't know, do I have to keep going down the list? I know there's another perspective of person. Well, you didn't like Overwatch as much as you liked TF2. I could tell from watching your streams you weren't having fun, but you never saw me make a TF2 video. For every live commentary that there was on this channel, there were 10 that I recorded and didn't post because they were that. That was always me. It's just you got a vertical slice of, they don't want to listen to all this bullshit. I know you don't. One of the worst videos to work on was What Really Happened. It turned out to be a good video, but it was an all-day grind where both me and Germa felt like everything we were doing was stale. It was super forced, and we were just trying to create something new out of absolutely nothing. It was a slog the whole way through. It was a desperate grab at any opportunity to try and be creative, but also it had to be Team Fortress 2. This process started slow, and I don't want to make it sound like being honest and authentic means mean, but I started off by saying the updates coming out aren't good. I don't like the direction this is going. The developers don't really know what's going on in TF2, and it's starting to feel abandoned. But that is insulting the game that everyone here worshipped, and I already saw the sides being taken. I felt completely fake, like just pretending everything was going well all the time, and I feel like, you know, maybe if I said more things would have been fixed. Because a lot of times when I did complain in TF2, eventually these really weird specific things I would bring up would actually get changed. That's where the Overwatch journey began, that I thought with that new perspective, you know, okay, I tried being positive all the time, and I saw a game that I loved just start falling to pieces from the beginning of Overwatch, and the developers reached out immediately and were very like, oh, we'll keep in contact and we'll talk. And so I thought, if I can like just bring up problems the game has from the beginning, maybe we won't see that happen again. Fucking wrong. Wrong, and it came at huge expense to myself. Of all the things I've talked about, I don't like bringing up the most that I started feeling really sick during a certain point in Overwatch streaming. I remember being on the phone with my mom, like laying down on her couch trying to talk to her, and I would be exhausted from saying 3 words. I like couldn't breathe. And then you know what I did? I got up and I streamed. Not the smartest idea. I should have just taken a break, and I regret that because it gave me a really short fuse. Anyone asked the same questions, it physically hurt to answer them every time. So I was just getting exhausted, and I didn't want to give up streaming because I really liked it. The same way that with YouTube, I didn't want to give up making videos, but I figured like it's better for me to just leave. So my option is to just do that again, just leave from the thing that I'm enjoying doing, just get up and leave, because I don't know, it's like too hard, or there's problems. So I pushed through being in a really shitty situation, and that just made it worse. The last thing I'm gonna say is to all of the people that feel betrayed and will tell me things like Team Fortress 2 made you. The only reason you're popular is because of Team Fortress 2, so how could you turn your back on us? That is a super toxic relationship that I don't need to be in. You're telling me the only reason I have value is because I can perform this one sole task that you want me to. But I don't have to do it, and I don't value myself the same way that you value me. I'm confident enough to say that whatever I do, I would succeed in. And you're insane if you think that if I did the exact same stuff that I did in Minecraft, I wouldn't have similar success. You did not make me. You can't, because you don't control me. And that's all that it's trying to do, is exert this control so you can get what you want. And I've heard it for years. All people on social media are treated like it's a dream job that you should be there to entertain me, and I'm the one doing it for you, so you need to be grateful all the time because I would kill to be in your position. So get up and do it. I'm replaceable. I made Team Fortress 2 live commentaries. Go for it, dude. Apparently it's not that hard. You just wait around for someone else to make you. And if you don't want to go do that, then that's because other things have value, right? And you don't need to do that. So the irony is that pandering to you and being successful that I know I could have done is the part that made me stop. I don't want to make clickbait. I don't want to do react videos. I don't want to do the same tired, stale content just because that's what people want me to do and that's who they want me to be. So then why'd you go make shit content on Twitch? It was relaxing. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people I was around. I liked the community. It wasn't about the content. It wasn't to be a content creator. It's just, it was fun. So enough about the past. You're still listening, so I'm gonna tell you about what I'm actually currently doing and where I think I'm going. I had mentioned earlier that I met a lot of people through Overwatch, and one of the people that I met and created a long-lasting friendship with is a person named Arcadum. He introduced me to the whole wild world of Dungeons & Dragons, and I fell in love with it. So My next video that I upload about a week from now is actually going to be a Dungeons & Dragons story, one of my favorite moments from all of the sessions we've played together live on his Twitch channel. I think it needs this little bit of introduction before I post it, just completely out of the blue, for you to understand why I would be doing that and what my motivations are, like where it's coming from. And if you compare it to the Titan video I uploaded a year ago, Dungeons & Dragons content is not going to get DMCA claimed. However, it still has that exact same flow where you're following a story of, let's just say, an obscure movie no one has already seen before, which is what I prefer to make my basically videos on. I don't want to make them on like The Avengers. You've already seen that. That's boring to me. I feel like you just know what that is. You're not learning or seeing anything new. Unless by chance you had already seen Titan, in which case I end up changing the video so much that's not even what the movie really was. So, D&D content makes a lot of sense for me because of how much I've been enjoying it, but also my main project that I've been working on the last couple of months is my own tabletop system, because I've been playing D&D so long, it's not good enough for me anymore. It's done on a virtual tabletop that auto-calculates a lot of stuff that would be too difficult to do with traditional pen and paper. So it's its own complete thing, own setting, entirely made by me, and my wife has put a lot of effort in as well to create original artwork for it. And it's been a lot of fun. We play it on Thursdays on my Twitch channel. It's called The Myriad. It's been going pretty well. There may be some stuff showing up here on this channel about that, but I honestly don't know yet. I really don't know my plan for content. In a lot of ways I've thought about, maybe I should do like a Patreon or like do this or do that, but I just don't know how consistent and what exactly this is leading to quite yet. But it doesn't matter because I'm jumping in headfirst and just doing it anyway and sort of seeing where it's going to lead. But a lot of people have a lot of questions whenever it gets brought up of like, when are you going to do this with? I'm just one step at a time right now and see what feels natural. And the first step is this video, so uploading a D&D video can at least, for a first step, feel natural. Besides that, you might be surprised to hear that I have actually been working on another Basically video for like a year. So I still do make video content, there's just never gonna be a schedule with it. There's no expectations of like when this is gonna be done. I just know that one day I would look forward to being able to post it when it's finally finished, because I keep getting held up or running into a brick wall of ideas for it, or just not having the time to work on it. So making videos still fun, but I'm not sure where it fits into my priorities. At this point, I would definitely rather make videos than do streams, but both of those things, neither one has to be what I do, So, like I said, first steps and seeing where I go from here. Next video, my channel name's also probably going to change to Stir instead of Star_. So I haven't been called that in like 5 years. It seems appropriate. I've got to wrap this up real quick. So thank you for watching. And if you still hold a grudge because I'm a different person now, you shouldn't, because I'm a different person now, but that might be why you hold it. So I don't know.